Hello, everybody. Today we're going to work on one of my favorite sheets. It's probably my first sheet that I ever made. Anyway, it's about verbs and how to use verbs. I call this sheet Eat Sushi because I need a verb and I need a noun to explain each difference in every type of verb. Okay? There are three parts. Most used means most people use it. Second most used, and third most used, or least used. Let's get started with most used. So, actually, I need to explain what this is. So this black line is your life. So you're born, you're living, you're still alive. Okay? The purple is today. Okay? Anytime you see purple, it means today. Everything else, the red is the verb and the blue is the time. Okay? So let's start with past tense. Past tense is very easy. I ate sushi yesterday. So we have today, we have yesterday, I ate. It's a finished action, so I put in X. Okay? Very simple. Next is present continuous. Today is bigger, so I'm eating sushi now. So again, today is bigger, now is happening now, and then eating is here. You're not finished, so no X. Okay, very simple. The future tense. Today, tomorrow. I will eat sushi tomorrow. I'm eating sushi tomorrow, which is the same as the present continuous. I'm going to eat sushi tomorrow. Okay? Here are three different ways to use the future tense. Now, if you're wondering what's the difference, I have another video called The Future that you can check out. Okay? It explains the future tense. But for right now, you should notice that it's just after today. Very simple. Past tense is before today. Present continuous, which I consider the true present, is happening at the present. And then the future is happening after today, in the future. Okay, now next is the tricky one. Present tense. Now, it's called present tense, but it's not in the present. It shouldn't be called present tense. Okay? The real present tense is the present continuous. That's happening now. But present tense is all time. Past, present, and future. Okay? So I eat sushi every year or every day. Okay? Or I never eat sushi. That's what this is. Okay? It's just nothing because you don't do it. Okay? So it's all the time. Okay? It shouldn't be called present. It's the same in Japanese, right? Sushi o tabemasu. Mainichi sushi o tabemasu, right? Every time. So just that's how we use it. Why? I don't know. I don't know why they call it present, but it's called present. All right. That's the most used verbs. Now let's go on to the second most used. Okay? This gets more complicated. The past continuous. Now, for many native speakers, they think the past continuous is just the present continuous in the past. Which, yeah, is one way to think about it. But here's a better way, or at least the way I like to think about it, okay? I was eating sushi when you called me yesterday. Or I was eating sushi at 10 p.m. Now, for the present continuous, you have two timelines, okay? You are person A, and then there's person B. The point with the past continuous, actually all continuous tenses, is that you compare it to something else that is happening, okay? So the main way to use the past continuous is to compare it to something. I was eating sushi when you called me. Something happened, and I was doing it. Okay? Another way to say that is I was eating sushi at 10. You can think about it like at 10 o'clock I was doing something. But really, the way I think about it is 10 is the other event. So I was eating sushi at 10 o'clock. Usually people use this tense when kind of asking, how can I say, interrogating questions like, what were you doing when that person had an accident? Oh, I was doing this at this time. Okay? Because you're trying to show a timeline. At this time, I was doing this. Okay? But normal past is just, I did that at this time. That's just an action. It's finished. That's why they call it simple. This one is more of a feeling that it happened while something else was happening, or at a time something else was happening. Again, native speakers really don't think this way, but grammatically, this is a good way to think about it. Similarly, the future continuous, I will be eating sushi when you call me tomorrow. I will be eating sushi at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Again, two timelines. Doing something when something else happened or will happen. So it's will happen because it's future. So I will be eating sushi when you call me tomorrow. Okay? Or I will be eating sushi at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Okay? Actually, the second most used is actually the present perfect. I have to talk a lot about the present perfect. I have eaten sushi before. Boom. I have eaten sushi many times. Boom. So, what's the difference between past tense and present perfect? And why is it called present if everything is in the past? Good questions, Tommy. So, first of all, you notice there's no blue line. For past tense, there's a blue line because we know when it happened yesterday. Either somebody said or you know. For present perfect, when it happened is not important. Okay? Either not important or you don't want to talk about. You don't care when it happened. You just want to say you did it or you experienced it, right? So I have eaten sushi before. You can use both sentences at the same, it could count for the same event, but two different ways of saying it. So example, I ate sushi yesterday is my event. I have eaten sushi before. Same event, just two different ways of talking about it. One, I just report what happened. The other one is I talk about my experience of doing it. Okay? Also, you can say many times because it doesn't matter because when is not important. Now, why is it called the present perfect? I'll explain soon. Another way of using the present perfect is like this. I have eaten sushi for 6 years. So you started something 6 years ago. It's still happening and not finished, but you're not doing it now. So kind of finished. Okay. So for example, right now I am not eating sushi. Okay. But I have eaten for 6 years, let's say. So it's something that started in the past and it affects me now. Okay? So that's why it's called the present perfect. So this experience changed me as a person. That's how we think about it. Okay? But really, as an American, I just say it's not important when it happened. Okay? Now, British people use the present perfect a lot more than Americans do. A lot more. I'm going to give you some examples. They're not perfect because I'm not British, but here are some examples. So, I ate lunch today. Okay? So, I ate lunch. It's finished. It's done. It's a done action. I ate lunch today. Many British people might say, I have eaten lunch. Why? Because the lunch is still here. The lunch is still here. It is still affecting me now. So the past affects the present. It is still affecting me. I have eaten lunch because it's still here. Some people will say, Americans, I cut my hair, or I got my haircut. I got my haircut. Finished. Some British people might say, I have gotten my haircut because it is still cut. The cut is still there. It's not grown back yet. So the past event is still affected by today. But Americans, we just think, we finished the action, it's done. It's done. So that's just a difference of how we like to say it, but we still use the present perfect sometimes, especially when we want to talk about kind of how much experience we have. Or, just saying that we have knowledge of this experience. Okay? One thing I like to talk about is for, we usually have a number and a time. And then since, we have a date or an event. Okay? Next, I haven't eaten sushi yet. We don't know about the future up until now. All right. Present perfect continuous. I have been eating sushi for 6 years. Okay, here's the timeline. You started 6 years ago. Still going, still happening. Future, we don't know. Okay? Here, the future we also don't know, but we don't care. We're not talking about it. This one, it's unclear. Now, let me explain something I like to say. So, I have taught for 25 years. Okay? More than 25 years. I have taught for more than 25 years. Usually when I do this lesson, I have a student I'm talking to. I'll tell them, I have taught many students for 25 years. Okay, that's true. I can also say, I have been teaching many students for 25 years. Both are true. What's the difference? Well, when I say I have taught many students, this is not including the student I'm talking to now, because that's only the ones I finished with. Okay? But if I say I have been teaching for more than 26 years or 25 years, I am including the student that I'm talking to now. Okay? Because at that time, I'm teaching them now. Okay? So all the students that I'm teaching now, that I teach weekly or something like that, they are not counted when I say I have taught many students. Because I have taught, those are the students I finished with, and they affected me today. But if I say I have been teaching, that includes the students that I am currently teaching at this moment, either now, short now, or long now, which means recently. Okay? Hopefully you understand. Next, for second most used, I have past habits. I used to eat sushi when I was a student. So I was a student here, and I used to do it. Okay? I would eat sushi when I was a student. Same idea, but you only think about the many times you did it, the many events you experienced. Now, what's the difference? Used to could be for both. Okay? It could be for both situations. So I want to give you another example. I used to be short. No, this is a better example. I used to be thin when I was a student. Yes. When I was young, I used to be very, very thin. Okay? So that's something that happens all the time. So it's a big block. Okay? Now, eat sushi is more like this because it's just many events. So another example is I used to play baseball when I was a student. Start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. Okay? So you would say, I would play baseball when I was a student. But you can also say used to. I used to have long hair. I would have long hair? No. I used to have long hair. Okay? So that's the difference between these two. Let's move on to the least used. All right. Least used. Past perfect. Now, think about the present perfect, how something starts in the past and affects the present. The past perfect is the same idea, but starts in the past and it affects the past. Okay? I had eaten sushi before I got sick. So, eat sushi before I got sick. Okay? Or this is even better. I was eating sushi, so I had eaten sushi, and then I got sick, and then I just stopped doing it. Some event in the past stopped me. So you would say, I had eaten. Okay? That's how we use the past perfect. The past perfect continuous is the same idea as the present perfect continuous, but in the past. I had been eating sushi before I got sick. Same idea, except this is closer. Okay? The future, sorry. Okay. Anyway, the future perfect is the same idea, but in the future, right? Something started, it can start in the past, in the present, or the future, but something in the future will stop it. Okay? I will have eaten sushi when you come home tomorrow. Okay? That's why I put in the least used. Not many people say things like this, but the grammar exists. So I will eating sushi, and then this event affected it. Okay? Or I will have eaten sushi by the time you come home tomorrow. Same idea. Okay? Present perfect continuous, again, similar. I will have been eating sushi when you come home tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. It's happening. Does he finish? I don't know. And then this is when you come home. I will have been eating sushi by the time you come home tomorrow. Okay? Same idea. Same exact picture. I did this pretty quickly. Usually in my lessons, I explain more to the student because every student understands things differently. You can download this sheet and then you can check it out, and hopefully some of the pictures or the explanations will help you. Or maybe your personal teacher can help you more. Also, other channels on YouTube explain things differently than I do, and they help you too. Everything you use, everything and anything you use can help you. Okay, finally, I want to talk about page 4, which is how to use verbs. This is really simple. It's just, if you want to talk about the past, use simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, present perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense, and past habits. And here are the grammatical ways you say it. Verb plus ed, d or ed if it's, a normal verb. Of course, their irregular verbs are different. For past continuous tense, was, verb, ing. Was eating. Okay. Past perfect tense, had, past participle. Present perfect tense, have, past participle. Past perfect continuous tense, had been, verb, ing. Past habits, would, used to something, and then would something. Like I said, the only real present is the present continuous. So if you want to talk about the present, use only present continuous tense. Be, verb, ing. If you want to talk about the future, if you want to talk about the past, present, and future, past, present, and future, use simple present tense. So just normal verb. Present continuous, present perfect continuous. Okay? All right. Now, if you want to talk about the future, we have all these future ways of doing it. Now, again, I made a video about the future tense, which talks about just the simple future. I don't talk about the present continuous tense or the future continuous tense. No, present continuous tense I talk about. But future continuous tense, future perfect, I don't talk about. But you have these here. And they are all explained on this sheet. All right. Thank you very much. Take care.